MapDad here. So there was a father-son trip at the beginning of the summer of 2023 to New Mexico, you may recall. So I wanted a father-daughter trip sometime before the kids went back to college. Since Map wife is no real fan of this place, the perfect place to go? Disney World. We'd last been 2 years ago, and we were hoping that since Florida schools were back in session, that the crowds wouldn't be too bad. MapDad splurged a bit at the newer Disney Riviera Resort. It's a Disney Vacation Club property, and I can see why. We had a one-bedroom that came with a full kitchen and sitting area. It was $650 a night after taxes. It doesn't have the dramatic theming like the Wilderness Lodge or Animal Kingdom Resort, but if you want a place where the Disneyness is toned down, this is for you. We ate quite a bit at the quick-service Primo Piatto, or patio, I suppose, which, thank goodness, meant Mickey waffles in the morning. I also got some very heavy but yummy cinnamon crumble French toast bread pudding. Now, since we arrived before our room was ready, one huge advantage is that the Disney Skyliner takes you from the hotel right to both Epcot and Hollywood Studios, about 15 minutes to both places. We headed to Epcot the first day and first went on the Ratatouille ride, which was very clever. Outside, we grabbed some crepes. I got a healthy-ish buckwheat crepe with vegetables. The next time I'll get something different. I managed to convince my daughter to go on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. It was pretty intense, and at MapDad's age, hugged that fine line between being thrilling and not so much. Good choice of music, though. With the Food and Wine Festival underway, Disney's brilliance shone through as they make it so appealing to get small plates everywhere that by the end of the day you've spent about as much as you would at a nice meal at the park. I will give a shout out to the filet and mashed potatoes at Canada. Day 2 is at Animal Kingdom, where I jumped on the Kilimanjaro Safari. At some point, I guess the ride got rid of the storyline about poachers, as the safari driver gave a more traditional narration on the animals and foliage along the route. And we hit the must-do Avatar Flight of Passage, and I'd have to say one of my favorite meals in all of the parks is the Satuli Canteen, where a new tuna poke bowl was bursting with flavor. The desserts are fun, too. In our short attention span society, the Lion King show is fantastic, and at 25 minutes, just right for people of all ages.
Wait, there's something I forgot to do.
The same goes for the Finding Nemo show, just a fun staging. I passed on the Expedition Everest roller coaster as it was closed for most of the day, and by the time it reopened, I was spent. The final day, there was a hurricane barreling into the Big Bend region of the state to our west. We'd have a day with plenty of rain squalls, but still got in enough adventure at Hollywood Studios. A new place for us to try for lunch was Woody's Lunchbox in Toy Story Land. The tachos, I think, were overrated, but the brisket sandwich I had was quite good, and the homemade Pop-Tart-like pastry was a nice topper. For the first time in 4 tries between Disney World and Disneyland, I was the pilot on the Smuggler's Run attraction, which makes all the difference, I think.
All right, come in.
And the Rise of the Resistance is also one of the coolest things to do in any of the parks. There was no Magic Kingdom on this trip. 3 full days was enough, and it'll give me something to look forward to perhaps in another few years and another visit. I'm MapDad, hoping to point your travel in the right direction.